cozy living room. Seven friends are gathered around, sipping on coffee, engaged in a lively discussion about habits and their impact on daily life. Arifa believes habits are hard to change but possible with effort. Ivy thinks people are accountable for their habits. Christine feels some habits are beyond our control. Leslie argues that we have the power to change habits. Mark believes in a gradual change and understanding habits. Shanika feels habits sometimes reduce our control over actions. Torres thinks fighting against habit is important and possible.
You know, I have been thinking a lot about habits lately. They are just like these automatic responses we have. But I think if we put in the effort, we can change them. I mean, habits are voluntary goals, right? So if we love them, we can change them.
Exactly, Arifa. According to Agape, if we just let a habit take over without trying to change it, we're still responsible for what we do because we allow that habit to determine our behavior.
But what about habits that are really ingrained? I mean, can we really control every habit that we have? Some of them just like it's already being part of being who we are. Almost like we're forced upon us.
I don't know, Christine. I think that's giving up too easily. Petchka mentions that if a habit is deliberately admitted, the actions from it are still voluntary, at least in their cause, so we still have control of them, or at least have response.
I think both of you have a point. Habits form because of repeated actions, so they're like these automatic programs running in the background of our minds. But we're the ones who program them in the first place. We start understanding why we have these habits. We can start to change them gradually.
True, but it's also worth noting that habits can sometimes weaken our intellect and dwell, like Pishke said. That's why some habits feel so hard to break. They kind of take over our decision making it feel less voluntary in the moment.
But that's why it's so important to fight against bad habits. Glenn's point about the effort to fight habits being key is crucial. If we're actively trying to change, then those actions can be seen as acts of men, not something we should be morally accountable for.
Yes, oh, right. As long as we are putting in a reasonable effort to counteract a bad habit, we are on the right path. Like, it is like saying, hey, I am not perfect, but I am trying.
And trying is important. It's not about perfections, it's about progress. But if someone just gives into their habits without any effort to change, they're choosing that path and they're morally accountable.
So what you're all saying is that we are all responsibility. At least try and change our bad habits. It's when we stop trying that we are fully accountable for what those habits lead us to do.
Exactly! It's all about the effort and the intention. Even if the change is low, what matters is that we're trying. That's where our moral responsibility lies.
Here's to recognize our habits, understanding them and making the effort to change for the better. But you know, it's not just about recognizing and resisting the bad ones. We should also think about building good habits. The same principles apply. If we repeatedly do good acts, those become our habits too. And imagine if our habits were all about kindness, patience, or hard work. We end up being the best version of ourselves without even thinking about it. It's not like turning autopilot for the better life. So I say, let's work on breaking the bad ones, but also be intentional about creating the good ones. Our future selves will thank us for it.
And who knows, maybe one day we will look back and realize that the hardest habits we fought were the ones that led to the most meaningful changes in our lives.
Here's to that, to being mindful of our actions and striving to be better every day. one habit at a time.